in the class. I will begin with that assignment. Let me open my WhatsApp and share. Okay, so I'll share my WhatsApp page. Hope you can see it. I will minimize this, but I'll share this group in particular. This one. So your focus should be onto this group. How was the assignment? Let's read through verbatively how the assignment was. So why I gave this assignment this way, I could have come to the group and just told you, please do ABC. But I wanted to show you how real world assignments be. For example, in this real world work, you are going to find clients come on board, tell you what they want exactly, but through words. They don't know anything about design. So it's you to decide for them. Unless other companies, for example, when I once joined, I was at Innovation Village, so I wanted to join there as a freelancer to begin designing with them, blah blah. And then they took me through what they gave me is a branding guideline. They told me if you have to brand with us, we have a guideline that it shows you everything. So if you are going to work with standard companies, as I told you, it will have a branding guideline. Rotaries have branding guidelines. Yes, they have it on their page. That if you don't know, at least if you get work for Rotary or Rotaract, go to their website, go and follow their branding guidelines. They have a particular font they use. It is also downloadable there. They have a particular, like they know how to do their logos. I showed you all the things in the first lectures. So these big companies have branding guidelines. Same to you as people. If you are starting off, please, by the end of this course, can you have a branding guideline? Sometimes you'll be busy and it might not be you to design that work. You need a designer on board. And then when you give them the work, would you please give them the work to design with a guideline? Tell them this is how I use my logo. This is the font I use. These are my colors. Tell them all the things. So that when they are designing, even if another designer comes on board, you'll see there won't be much difference because these two different designers have used the same font, used the same color. Yes, they have arranged their work differently, but at least they have followed the guidelines. Yeah. So why am I giving all that long information is to guide you to this, that if you have this information, the way it is, a client has told you, you are lucky that I've even typed for you. But most local Ugandan clients will just tell you the problem they have. You see, I have a B&B business and I want clients to be coming. They are located in Nigeria and they will end there. Yesterday, client called me and they wanted me to design a website for their A&B business, but they just give you that. Then they told me, I want you to guide me. How can I maximize? I don't want to be there, keep, being called all the time, blah, blah. So we sat down, we talked, I praised him. He'll be coming back on Friday, pay deposit, we go for inspection and what. But that's it. Not the right questions to ask the client. If a client comes to you, comfort them, show them they are in the right place. He was happy in the end because I charged him a lot. He was not a lot, how we charge. So I was like, that's much money. It's out of my budget. But in the end, the way I explained to him was like, okay, it's worth it. So as you are praising the client, let them be confident. As you are explaining to the client, let them be confident about what you are going to do for them, about what you are doing. Before even them seeing your work, before even them see what you are doing, let them be confident about what you are doing. So if a mom to Nasanga Gloria came and explained to you all this, how would you make her feel comfortable, feel at home about what you are going to do for them? But yeah, this is the information. I brought it in this way. If you are lucky and the client types for you everything about the campaign, because sometimes you get the client. I had a client of GLS, she could just do the typing, maybe what was in the meeting, then send you that whole document. He told me why he doesn't choose NASA people is because NASA people don't edit through the documents, don't do what like they put the way it is. I see people that are copying this thing the way it is. But I told you here, you can rephrase this. Please You have all the information. No one is going to penalize you as long as the important data is there. No one is going to penalize you of how the information has come out. If the flyer is beautiful, it clearly states the fundraising, it clearly states the name, the 40 million surgery bit, the numbers are there. No matter the words you put, we don't care about the words that you are going to be put to, like the words that are going to be put. Yeah. So that's it. The people that don't know this assignment, please try it out. Why I sent it this way is to see how creative you are. Would you change the word? Would you be creative and come up with your own phrases? Would you? But at least I highlighted for you. If you notice this work, the main emphasis of things that I want are in bold. The 40 million, the hip surgery, the fundraising poster, like at least the things would pull you to know exactly where maybe the purpose is. So if you have not encountered real world work, this is what we came to do for you people. We came to show you, because we have people here that have not done any real world project. So this is an example of a real world project. I have another project, but since I upload this work on YouTube, I may not share it verbally here. I'm going to design it for myself. But yeah, then after that assignment, we are giving back to the community. And then this is not just giving back as give back, but you are learning something at least. You are learning how we tackle real world projects. And then when you check statistics of how many people are in the group, how many people are doing the work, 17. Out of the 17, if you are sharing. Then we came to the posters. Remember, I told you if you want to zero down your learning curve to you doing better graphics in a short time is you picking inspirations. Pick inspirations, pick inspirations, pick inspirations. So what we did is the people that had failed to pick inspirations, we agreed that anyone that sees a fundraising poster out there that is beautiful, please share it. So we shared some of the works, but as you see this work, you see they leave a safe margin. You see even at the bottom there is a safe margin, at the top there is a safe margin. This is what is going to differentiate standard work from amateur work. Please make sure your work stands out as standard, or because you'll see different designs. So you see this work, maybe this was amateur work also, because I don't see safe margins, like they are not big enough, but at least he left a margin there. Though there is important information on this. There is a raise, like maybe the Uganda school project, then there is when, where, and the price. And the price is that big enough. So your eyes will push you to this fundraise. Your eyes will push you. You're like hierarchy. We started about hierarchy, but if you look at this poster, your eyes will push you to this. You may not read this even. You'll jump to this because the way he has brought them out. And then two, I told you some designs are not standard designs. They are designed by people like us. But if you can copy a leaf or two and then convert it into your own standard design, it's okay. Don't say that every work that is shared, you must design something like that. No. Pick a leaf. You see this work. Yes, it is pixelated because I just screenshot it, but there is a safe margin. There is safe margin at the end, even at the bottom. You might not see it, you might think, but this work, this coloring is safe. The campaign is clearly stated. Fundraising dinner. In inbox, someone came and then they were telling me it is a donation thing. I've already put the information there. Donate. It shouldn't just be donate. Find keywords. Fundraising for Gloria, fundraising for hip surgery, like hip surgery. Find these keywords that would pull someone to this. Yeah, this was my friend Sabrina. Actually, she interviewed me for that job. I remember she interviewed me for when I went at Innovation Village to get that graphics thing. She shared with me the graphics bit of things. She told me how they do things. Sabrina, she lost her mom. May her soul rest in peace. Yeah, I hope she's fine with me sharing this work. But I found it on what X. But do you see how this poster is? The amount is clearly stated. No one is training their eyes to find the 40 million because everyone is pasting the paragraph of of the one that had the 40 million, exactly the way he gave it to you is the way you're copying it, pasting it there, and then yes, people have to read through to know where the 40 million is. I've not okay said maybe make the 40 million bigger, but find ways of reshuffling this data. A client has given you data, but we always do the changes. And then when you do the changes, make sure they are good for the client, that the client won't complain. Sometimes we argue with the client wants something, and then obviously you tell them no, that is violating the design rules, that is doing this, that, because sometimes clients will want things that are funny. A client will tell you, I want my mom to take the entire page. And then you tell them if the mom maybe takes the entire page, the things won't be readable, the colors will be contrasting, blah, blah. So can you explain to the client technical as why maybe you are rejecting their work, their maybe changes? Not always that we have to reject, but sometimes we are going to be rejecting. So, because if you follow clients' rules, I had a client, I still have her, but the way she sees things is the way she wants it. She always even draws for you, a rough work, telling you how they want the pictures, how they want what. But at the end, after designing for her things, is like, wow, like, yes, I contradict with her. I don't design exactly what she's telling me because sometimes it is not following the rules. But in the contradiction, I know how I'm rejecting the changes, but in a professional way. Don't just be this person that will just keep rejecting changes. The client is telling you the right thing. Maybe you didn't use the right color. Maybe you didn't use what, and then you are just rejecting because I told you that, you don't have to always be accepting. But what are we picking from these things? Save Sabrina's mom. Like these keywords, you are not just seeing here, donate. Save Sabrina's mom, save mom. You can create hashtags. No one is limiting you. Advise the client. Tell them, could we create the hashtag for her? Could we do this? So thank you for generous the money is here. No one is training to read. This poster doesn't have every information that you need, but it has the target. We are targeting this. We have this so far. It is showing you anything that you would want to see. It is pulling you. When you look aside and look again at the work, at least there is something that will attract you to this work. Yes, you have not seen all the details, but you can give to this cause. Because of the beauty of the graphics. Graphics speak a lot. Yeah, this one was maybe the first flyer that gave her story, gave this. Yeah, there was a person in the group that was suggesting to give the stories. Yes, could we have a group that says, for me, I'll design the countdown. For example, you have to keep reminding people that there are 5 days to the surgery, but we don't have money yet. There are these days to the surgery. Can we have people design this? You people, be creative. Since whenever they work, just do that. Be creative. You can add, you can supplement, implement. Say, okay, I'm suggesting we can have a countdown. I'm suggesting poster X can have her story. Poster Y can have how much you have collected so far. Poster Z can have this. You get my point? These are the things we are going to add to the client. A client comes and they want to design with you just a poster of the mom just leave of who Gloria just getting that money. You advise the client, tell them, maybe we need to tell the story of, Gloria. Then by designing that, the client will add you money for the design of that. The client came initially to design with you one poster, but how do we detain clients? How do we remain with these clients? By showing them further things of, beyond things I've thought of. Tell the client, maybe we do a countdown. Tell the client, maybe we do this. Suggest these things because these are the gigs we are going to be getting. The Airbnb person that came yesterday, yes, he was open asking for my opinions. I gave them. I told them maybe we need to add the business to the Google Maps and Google Business so that when it is searched, even if you don't have a website yet, someone can see it near you. We need to profile the thing. We need to do this. We need to create videos for it. Yes, he came to design a website, but I'm ending up getting a gig of designing the graphics for him, adding it to Google Business, capturing images for him because we are going to go there and capture the image and profile the business. That's how we get clients. That's how we retain clients. The clients that has come with 1M, how are you going to fish up to like 2M or and above? The client that has come with this less money, because I'm training people that we want you to be international people that, let that farm remain with you. I have people that I do with work, and then they are calling me for a meeting. They don't want me to work with them as just be like short-term projects. So they want to add me to their team permanently. They told me, we have many gigs. How about to add you to the team permanently, then be paying you salary? So I'll be meeting them. But how did we get there? The work that I've been creating for them. So as you are creating work, don't just focus. You people, the bad thing is one, you have focused on the assignment as just an assignment. Just assignment. Just yakuyambako munnaffe. But the skills we are learning from this are not taught anywhere. No one is going to tell you such information that I'm telling you on YouTube. YouTube, you'll find there how to edit a flyer. You'll edit that flyer. No one is going to share with you such important information. How do you praise? How do you choose what? We go to another design. You see these designs, they have margins. I'm emphasizing margins because you know what you are doing about margins. But it has charity fundraising. It has the date clearly stated here in a big font. Then the number is clearly in a big font. And another color. Why? Is because they are emphasizing that there are key points that they are emphasizing. That's hierarchy, as we said, about the rules of design. So even if you are in Photoshop, Illustrator, Canva, you have to follow the thingy, the what? Those rules of design, the key rules. So hierarchy is one. What do you want us to see first? What do you want us to see next? How do you move? Do you notice that on this design, you read this paragraph last, but you'll see this, you'll jump to the date, you won't even read this. You'll jump to this because it is, the color given to it, then you'll read through. So as you got the assignment, what do you want the client to see? Not the client, the viewer to see first. Fundraising, maybe. They should see maybe the amount we are collecting, minus them stressing to read. Our eyes, how our, concentration span of Africans, not only of Africans, of Ugandans. You always scroll through beautiful graphics. You scroll, you scroll, you scroll. So if a person is scrolling and then boom, they bump into the design, what will they see first? And that first impression, will it keep them read through the entire artwork? Because if you don't create impression, people won't read through the entire artwork. Another design here, you see, charity donation event. They have well stated the thing. The number is big, the amount is big. These other things, they come in later, but at least the amount is in bigger fonts. Yes, I didn't share this. Someone shared it, as we had said. Let anyone share what they have within. Yes, he has left a small margin, but at least there is a margin there. I know I emphasize margins because there is a way human minds are, wired to read things. You see this? Charity fundraising. And then they left a margin there. They left that safe margin. You see the price? Maybe this person copied inspiration from this person and they change the things around. Yes, sometimes we copy the inspiration. Then the people that copy the inspiration and just kill the inspiration. Please, you have to copy the inspiration and add to it, not destroy it. If I find you copying from my inspiration and then you have just done a mess to it, I might sue you. So add to it, create something, say, okay, it was missing this, but yeah, this chart clearly states the date, clearly states the cause, clearly states the amount. This other information of people reading, people nowadays don't want to read. No one is going to read. You see, Gloria is sick, blah, blah. A few will read. And then we might have different posters that people that have been following the campaign know the story already. So maybe person of poster X would put the story there. Maybe I didn't want to divide you into groups, but I wanted to show you that this is how you will get the same work from a client and you'll do differently, and the client will choose the other person over you. So why is the client going to choose, or why are we going to choose 5 designs over what you have designed? Is because they have done something that is different from the same work that we gave you. So don't limit your creativity, don't limit your thinking, don't limit your art. Yeah, everyone is creative, everyone has an art. This one also, it was a king one, but now there's help, like kids help. You are not seeing any word donation, donate. You are seeing the cause of the call to that. So this one is kids helps. Maybe it was an organization. Their organization is here. Now it is time to help. Yes, you can use the word donate, but find ways of sweet wording the information that you have gotten. You have gotten this ngamuntu once the client doesn't know, what words to use. They have explained to you in Uganda while crying, osanze yo mukazi ku kyalo akaaba omwana wange and then you tell them Funds Technologies gave us a free course. We want also to give back. I will design for your kid or that person a campaign flyer. Maybe you no way in your campaign, you want to run that entire campaign. I've run some campaign. You remember Run for the Girl Child? I helped those people because in the first run, I was among the organizers. Not organizing, but I told them, your campaign is missing X, your campaign is missing Y. You as designers that we are creating, the future designers, can you spot a campaign and tell us what they are missing? This campaign is free. It is for our friend. Can you put all those recommendations that you are suggesting? The person that suggested recommendation yesterday is okay. That's why yes, I came back late. I didn't comment about it, but I loved it. I wanted that thinking. I want you to think beyond just work. This is not just work of you doing. People are absconding the class because they think they don't have the work yet. This is hoping you learn, hoping you build muscle memory. Then two, I shared this in the morning. Hope we have learned something from those, standard designs, how they look like, the choice of colors, the choice of fonts. You have not seen vague colors or vague fonts, NASA fonts. So you can't learn swimming by reading about swimming. We find you watching tutorials about swimming. So you'll be here attending every class. You even go to YouTube, rewatch the classes, but you are not doing any design. In the end, after the course, you won't benefit anything and you'll say, companies zirimba, bichi, they gave me a free course. As other people might be progressing to Photoshop and Illustrator, you might be stuck in Canva because you have not done any design with it, you have not practiced. So I would encourage everyone to practice, 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 practice. Then to shorten your learning curve, copy inspirations. Don't be testing with works like creating things from zero. Some of us, we have to accept we were not naturally created to be designers. Designing is an art and what. So we were not naturally created to be that. So practice, 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 and pick inspirations. From that preamble, have you gotten something? From what I've shared, is it going to help you somehow change the design, change your work? Those that have not been doing the work, are you going to now start doing the work? Have you gotten the cause for the work now? I'm going to unmute, get 2-3 answers, then we start off designing with Canva. We are going to do how to choose the right template and then how to edit templates. I'll show you my best way of editing templates, and they are not identified that they are those templates because I also edit templates. But when you see my work, you'll find it unique. I told you the technique I use. I copy from more than one template, convert it into one, then it is totally different. If you put two posters, the one I've copied from and the one that I have, they are two different posters, yet I copied from them. But since you are new people, you'll forgive me. Sometimes I just forget and teach you as seniors, comment your work as seniors. But since you are new people, I would encourage you copy from one template. No one is going to penalize you. By the way, when you look at the template you copied from and the work that you come up, like the final work, do you always find it similar? You'll find it is totally different. And yours is beautiful and theirs is beautiful too. So yeah, someone is saying Savula and Savuliani, you run away from the class, you'll tarnish our name saying Twakola Tutia. How do you add background color to a text? We are going to do that. Background color or just color to a text? Yes, sir. Thanks so much. Sure, Simbula. Okay, cut Simble. At first, I had never heard of safe margins. Wow. Yeah, we always leave that gap there. Maybe it's a cheat or but they are called safe margins. Let's Google them together. Mm. So I'll share my screen. If you don't have, do you have any question? By raise of hand, if you have any question or any supplement about that before we proceed. Tugenda kusabula. I see two people have already dropped off. Background color to text. Okay. Do you mean color? Okay, we are going to cover all that. Any person? Okay, since we don't have questions and what, we can symbol. So I'll share my screen. I'll share entire desktop one. Yeah. I'll minimize this. Hope you can see this. I'll maximize this. Okay, so today I used one screen to share because I don't want to edit. I just want to, after the class, just upload the work it is. So someone had never heard about safe margins. You just do that. So safe margins have always been there, not only here, but what is a safe margin area? So a safe margin area is an industry term that refers to the section of 1 to 8, blah, blah, between the center and the label outline. Safe zone, so you'll find people calling it safe zone, safe margin is buffer. Ensure critical elements on your design are included on your print label, even if the printer shifting occurs. Do you get my point now as to why we leave safe margins? When we do printing, sometimes the way you have seen your work, sometimes the way you have put your size in is not the way the printer is going to perceive this work. So if a printer shifts some design things, maybe the settings were shifted within the printer, your safe margins will still help. Yes, ka gap, even if it has taken some space off that design, still all your work will be printed. I gave this reason even the other time. Not only the printer, the gadgets we view with. People have Samsung curves. If you have a curved phone, you know how it perceives the designs. The design goes until where the curves are. So just imagine your words ended till where the curves were. These things are Google. You see, they are showing you how to do this. They are showing you a good, safe zone. They are showing you this person went to the end, didn't leave a safe zone. They are showing you don't do that. So they are telling you this one that did their work within a safe zone. They have put a tick. The artwork stays within a safe zone and will not be cut off during printing. For example, if you are designing for media, not printing, I emphasize this. The artwork, please repeat after me. You are going to unmute and repeat the thing. The artwork stays safe, that it will not be cut off by either printing or the device that is being used. Please unmute and speak that thing because mukola waka nga talina safe margin. Someone unmute and repeat that statement for others. I'm not going to proceed until you said that statement. Why do we leave safe margins? By raise of hands. I want 3 hands. I want the hands from the people that have not been leaving safe margins. You are going to give the client work, then when it reaches time for printing, the work is being cut. Then by the time a client tells you, work musala bichi bichi, repeat the design. By the entire time you take to design, sometimes clients think saying, please repeat the design is just you, boom, changing things here, just drag something and put it there. It may need you to change the entire page outlook. Maybe you create it from a different page size, you change a different size, then the way you arrange your work. So please, before I proceed, I want an answer as to why we leave safe margins. By raise of hands. Should I choose randomly? Ken, why do we leave safe margins? Ken?
Yes, Mr. Famba.
Why do we leave safe margins?
We leave safe margins for the case of printing and due to different screen sizes.
Have you been leaving safe margins on your work?
Not really.
Now you have a reason as to why you have to at least be working within the imaginary
Even
area that
it
Canva
helps the work to be organized.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. Uh, the new people to the design, Maureen. I'll pick Maureen because she tells me the other lecture she said they were new in designing and then the new people are not sharing their works. So how do you want us to help you? Maureen and your team. You pick one representative from your team and share with us why do we leave safe margins? So that in the pre-coming work that you design, you know, you have a reason. Yes,
To
Maureen.
prevent to prevent cutting off important information.
Okay. So when are you sharing your first work? Please share the work. You can't learn
Okay.
something by just learning. You cheat
Yeah,
out
we are going
the
to
lecture,
share.
but you don't share anything.
We are sharing today evening, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Bright future.
Hello, it's me, Dennis.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Muta Dennis. Yeah, according to what I understand about submargins, yeah, we have been talking about submargins in the group since from the morning. And what I got is that safe margins, Helen, for example, you have done doing your work, you want it to get display it, you want it to be displayed on a TV. We leave that space so that nothing gets cut off. Or when you are printing on a paper, so that nothing is cut off or magnified. I don't know, something like that. To
Yes.
avoid leaving anything behind so that your work comes out perfect the way you designed it. So you have to leave some space for that.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. So we shall proceed. I just wanted that from you people so that it is emphasized. And the last lesson I emphasized it, but people still shared without safe margins. So maybe at least we got an emphasis now. So I'll do share my screen and we go through how to choose. Okay, sorry for that. I'll close it completely. I just wanted it to share the other work. Forgive me, today I didn't prepare. The current project I'm working on is creating this one. They sent me that. You can just send you a picture and then they give you a few details about the thing. Yeah. So that's about safe margins. We shall go to our Canva. The major call for this topic today is showing you the power of Canva and other tools that it has. In the first, I didn't want to just jump to showing you how we edit these templates. Minus showing you how to be creative, come up with your own font, do this, do that. These things will help you as you are editing a template. I don't know why this is in light mode. I hate light mode. So as you are editing a template, at least you know why you are editing that, how you are editing it. That's why I first cover those things. Yeah. So for example, we are going to say, I want to give an example of the same work that we are doing. You might not get it. You'll just copy and it will limit your creativeness. I want you to be creative. I want like each individual to come up with different work, different ideas. So we can keep sharing this work with our sick patient. And then your work is shared on their socials. Just imagine that impact on a life. The way we are impacting your lives, the way we want you to change free of charge is the way we want you to impact other people's lives. That's the only way you can give back. And why I give you such is like it helps you to interface with how standard projects come on board. Ugandan projects. You don't know Ugandan projects. why companies retain us is because we come and give life to their projects. So if you have gone to a project, even if it's just a campaign, and you listen through what they are saying, you have to be thinking now as a designer, okay, what do I add to that? What do I add to the other thing? These are videos, but Canva does good videos, and what? All these are free. So in the next lectures, we shall be doing about motion graphics, how to move text around your Canva, how to do what. But before we do that, let's just learn how to do purely Canva thingy. So when you look at Canva, it has everything. So the main topic today is choosing the right template for your work. So as we said in the beginning, Canva has everything. For example, the people that want CVs, you can do a CV with Canva. The people that want headed papers, you can do a headed paper with Canva. You can do a receipt with Canva. You can do anything with Canva. I'll show you my headed paper. I'll show you where I copied it from, but you will see they are totally different. So at the end of this lesson, I want you to have a headed paper for your organization. At the end of this lesson, that's the exercise for today. Every lesson that we come in, we want to build something that contributes to your brand. So take an example. A person asks for an invoice. Don't just write for them the invoice. Write it on hand-headed paper for your brand. For example, if I wrote for you an headed paper with Fans Technologies Yugi, you'll feel this is a right brand. You'll feel this is a company to work with than a person. If you were two people and a person sent with unheaded paper, well-organized work, there are contacts there is a secretary that has signed there, and then a person sends the same information without anything. You just write, you'll need a camera, you'll need a cow, you'll need this, and then you just send to a client. Okay, chorus answers. Who would you take? A person that has sent you well-documented work, they show you they know what they are doing, and the person that has just maybe copied from ChatGPT, pasted into the chat, boom, sent to you. Who would you take? You remain with that answer. So as I told you, we are designing towards the brand. So build your brand. When we learned about colors, hope you picked a color for your brand already. Hope you prompted ChatGPT to tell you the color and what it means. When we learned about typography, hope you already have a typography for you. Yes, I left that assignment. No one has submitted the assignment of typography. And then they think the assignment ended on the branding thing, ended on, maybe picking a typography for your brand. You are doing this charity thing. Tell ChatGPT, tell AI. AI came, we are not going to do away with it. So tell AI or ask that AI of WhatsApp. We were tasked to design a thingy for a fundraising campaign for Maureen, blah, blah. This is the information that was given. Help me design one. Yes, ChatGPT doesn't design, but it will help you, ask it, what font should I use? It will give you fonts. Test them out. See if they are working well. Not always that the fonts they give you, they will work, but you test them and see. If it's not working, tell it, give me like 3 options I choose from. So it will give you different options, test different options, see what font is working best for you. I'm training international market people. I'm not training people that are going to cram a single text. Every campaign that comes on, spend much time in the research than implementing. So every work that you get, do some research about it before you start implementing. So we are going to say we want to design a what? By the way, Canva designs everything. So people that want CVs, people are paying us to do CV templates for them. And then you come to Canva and pick this free template and then you edit it through. So if a person pays you to do for them a CV, please surely Canva is here for you. Then what I will differ from you is one. After getting this CV, putting in the information, I'll copy it, put it where the CV weighs it. Like there is this CV, seeing how much you have within the CV. So it tells me how much that CV weighs. It tells me the changes, then I can do the changes physically. So you people that already see these CVs that have this Kablu, this template was for LinkedIn that has this. It is a free one here. So you can come, edit it, create a professional CV. anything that you think of creating, Canva has its template. Yes, we can copy inspirations from outside or within, but at least maybe you can start within a template. You can say, I copied my inspiration from outside, but I want to come to this template, edit it. Most people, you just kill the template instead of murdering it. So Canva has everything. Where we are, at least we know where to pick colors, where to pick different fonts in case the font in the CV you don't want it. So this is our right time to learn how to edit templates that are within Canva. So say you want a cover letter, you want, what is it called? Unheaded letter. Because as a brand, you have to have, a business card, headed letter, you have to have this. So if you can't copy from outside totally, ng'olabye nti biri byaganye, we can accept and learn to do within what is within Canva. But don't limit yourself to exactly that. Keep adding life to it. Keep doing different changes to it. Because when you edit something that is exactly, there will be higher chances that you will see your work will totally look as the other person's ex work. So if you come to your thingy, so you see, these are the templates that Canva gives as cover letters. But if I show you my cover letter, you won't see any of them. Even if you are in the pro version, you won't see any cover letter that looks like mine. Let's say copied the idea from Canva. What do I mean by that? Even if you are copying from a template, can you add life to it? Can you add different things to it? Can you add the design principles that we have learned to it? I'll share my cover letter, my headed letter that I always use for fancy technologies. I want with another person, with another account. No, it is not bringing the other account thingy. I want here. And I'll put this account that has all my funds work. Guys, this knowledge is priceless. So this is what I use for my headed paper. Oh, I don't want you to see the prices. So this is what I use for my headed paper. So you have got an unheaded paper from, for example, where? From Canva. You have seen even in the pro version, there is no headed paper that looks beautiful as mine. Yes, they are beautiful, but they are not as beautiful as mine. Why? I create something that I feel I add life to it. Match the brand colors, match what? But for you, why we hate teaching you exactly how to edit templates, you're going to leave the colors you found there, you leave the fonts that you found there. I pulled my own font. I came with it. Your colors, go with your colors. Like, what are you adding to that template that you have found there? So that when maybe you share it with the client won't obviously say you copied it from this angle, you copied it from here and there. So be creative at editing templates. Yes, we are learning the entire thing as editing templates within Canva, but how creative you are will make bigger change to it. That there will be two people that have copied the same template and then they will murder it differently. It will come out totally differently. So you see this, I copied its bottom thing, this coloring thing, I copied it from this one. Then the logo thing, I went to another template. So I'm showing you how I integrated more than one template to come up with one custom one that is unique. You see, these are all headed papers. By the way, chat tops mine chikopa. Maybe I got it even outside Canva. But at least when I came to Canva, I saw this headed paper had the bottom bit of things, but it had black. So I said, okay, I'll choose that. But I'll convert it to my color green, but I don't like how it looks at the top. Not all the time that the templates you choose, you love them how they look everywhere. You might need to alter things. Then this, I got it from another. So you can combine more than one design, come up with one beautiful one from a totally free version. It is not a paid for version. Hope from this you have learned. Why I'm emphasizing this before I teach you how to edit templates is one, I want you to be creative. I remember this thing, I copied it from a template, but I'll show you how I changed this not to look like the template I copied it from. I added life to it, that even when you find the template I copied from, they always share the templates aside. But yeah, as for the start, since you are new to this thing, you can use the template and leave it the way it is. Since I'm teaching international people, because the client will want custom work, will want work that resonates with their brand. So as you are choosing a template to copy one, note this down. Find how to choose a right template. If you've gotten, merge more than one template into one to change, to change it slow. Not always that when I see your work, I will say, that is from Canva. Because the more you interact with Canva, you'll see designs you see on social media as others are created exactly from Canva. So much more than one, thingy to create a difference with your work. 3, always do a few changes around that brand thingy. Okay, always choose a template that resonates with the brand. The client has introduced to you, has told you what their brand does, what their colors are, what their fonts are. When you choose a good template, change. Even if I've had chosen this and it's for food, maybe make sure it matches your food. Put the Rusania. Don't leave the way the things are. Before we proceed, hope we learned something. Yeah, most times I first give a preamble that is long for us to pick something before we enter into the practical work. So that when we get there, we have lesser questions and then we are doing more of implementing what we have learned. So you can put chorus answers, or you can answer what you want us to choose. What template do you want us to choose today? And then we can do justice to it. I don't want to choose for you. You might think, Edith had unmuted. Yes, Edith. Edith, you had something to say? Okay, Edith says she doesn't have anything to say. By putting the answers in the bottom there in the text, what font are we going to, what thing are we going to choose, and what should we choose? And the main concept is anything that you are designing is already existent in Canva. Cover letters, CVs, blah, blah, branding guidelines, presentations are already there in Canva. So if they're already there, always choose, but how to customize them. Okay. So client tells you to do a branding guideline for them. And I don't encourage you to just copy exactly from Canva, because what Canva calls a branding guideline might be called outside differently. So there are branding guidelines here. Yes, they are funny. I hate the colors they use, but you see. So if you're asking yourself what's the branding guideline, go there, search. But even if you don't search it within Canva, I want you to have the power to create it from zero. So you can say guideline templates. So you can copy it from outside. You can, see images. You can go within and they show you different branding guidelines have templates. So you can copy this. It is in form of just images and convert this into slides with your Canva. Because the powers that I was giving you, or I was training you in, is not to be zeroed down to only the templates that we find in Canva. So this is a standard branding guideline, but here it is in a picture format. Can you convert it into slides? You see? And then you have a branding guideline for your organizations. It clearly says the colors. You see how he stated their colors. It clearly states everything. You might find them both here. Do you know how much a company charges to do for someone a branding guideline? A minimum of 500,000. Would you maybe go for each company change this standard? No, company can do for a branding guideline, blah blah, and then they will pay you. Have a branding guideline that I was paid for. Yes, I charged her a little because she was my usual client, 500,000. So the way I'm helping you is this thing is not taught anywhere. Yes, they are taught, I don't know, but I've not found sources that teach them. But I'm giving you capital that is obankuwadde mafuta kusima. So can you find yourself how to find a market? And then you tell people, I can do for you branding guideline, I can do for you this. Go online, find unique guidelines. You might not find those pre-edited ones that are in Canva because it's looking obvious. Find these ones that are unique, are beautiful. Download the picture, reduplicate this, but in your own way, in your own understanding, in your own resonating to the brand. Don't just do because, yes, you got it there. No, I want you to be thinkful, to be like thinking. Then how does it resonate to the brand? There are many things there. Everything that is paid for, that is out there, clients pay high money for these things. They are easily available online. Someone has something to say? I can hear someone who is unmute.
We can't see the screen.
Are you for real?
Yes.
I'm going to slap someone. The screen is off. Okay, thank you for. Sorry for that. I'll share my Chrome. So I was setting you branding guidelines. Let me go back to the point where I was showing you the ones that are within Canva. So you can say you want a branding guideline. So you come to Canva here, then you type in branding guideline. I'm showing you the power of it, that anything that you think of that a client will ask you is already there. Guideline. So they will show you the branding guidelines that are within Canva that are free even. Kino kijjawo kiri ekintu akyabyesibye ku pro version. You can do anything with the free version if you are that creative and if you have been following our classes. So there are different branding guidelines. All you have to do is convert it, let it resonate to the brand that you are designing it for. Then two, I told you don't limit yourself to the free versions that will be there. Go online, because some free versions will look obvious. Go online, type in branding guidelines. You'll see different branding guidelines. They're in image formats, but you'll see beautiful branding guidelines. Branding guidelines, ask people out there, how much is a branding guideline? How they charge? Ask standard firms. Tobuuza wa NASA ayinza obatamanyi branding guideline. Yes, they are good NASA people. Kuba abamu gye tuzikolera, abamu brand zizikolerayo. But abamu baakibattira nti the higher market, the other people that go there and self-teach themselves don't know these things because they just learned how to use Photoshop and Illustrator and things, and then they didn't learn the in-depth. So this example doesn't demean them, like put them down. They are good people there. I always do some graphics there when I'm busy. I always share with someone that does for me that graphic. But you see, there are beautiful branding guidelines out there. So if you get a client and then you charge them, you tell them, I can do for a branding guideline. So if you do for them, like go online, find a guideline that is suitable for your work, that is that beautiful, that is unique, because you might find these are designed by international people that you might not find it anywhere. If a client sees it, it may not be seen anywhere within Uganda. So find a beautiful work, design for them. Anything that you want within design already exists. If a client tells you, can you design for me this, even if you don't know the thing, tell them, okay, I'm kind of busy, but I'll get back to you. Kumbe, you are going to search. Go search about it, see if you can, use it. On the little knowledge that we know, let me ask a question. Can't you design this, even if you just have its image? Can't you replicate the design with Canva? What does it take? Even if it is limiting you to download it, can't you just screenshot it and redesign it with Canva? What is it taking for you to do this? I want chorus answers. I want some answers, please. For the little knowledge that we know, can't you do this? This is a font. This is a shape with these fonts. This is a shape, a rectangle shape. Give it color green. Put the right font. Put the right tagline. Put green. This is a font. Like, what is difficult within this design? Even if we have not learned complicated stuff, can't we redesign things that we see off with our eyes? Because that's where the power of designing is you to be able to design something, because most clients, sometimes we ask this question to the clients: who are your competitors? Can you share some of the work that you, because some clients, sometimes they want to look like X. I want to my website look like for the other one. I want sometimes you advise them, don't design them for example, the same websites like the other, but you can improve what they want, because sometimes clients share with us some websites and they are funny websites, but they want it that way. But we always advise them, blah, blah. Then we improve around what they already have. Any questions? All this we are learning. I know people are thinking we are not learning, but we are learning. What are we learning? How to choose a rate template. How do we choose a rate template? First, understand your client's needs or client's objectives. Make research about it. Then see how that objective of the client will resonate or will fit within your work. Yeah. So there are different branding guidelines, but maybe sometimes this guideline is not resonating with the tech company. So find the good colors for a tech company, find the good bichi for tech. Like, make research before you jump into the gig. The mistakes that you do when we teach you about why we teach this last, when we teach you about editing things, we are going to find you just being editing, because we told you now we want donation thing for the kid. You just come here and say donation flyer and you just edit. There's a person that edited this. It is okay when you edit. I'll share this person's work that edited this. They even left the website there, but you see, okay, the person that edited this is on this call. I was asking you the focus areas. Yes, you put your donation, but I was asking you, do you see the money? You see how money has been put. It is big. Like, there's a reason as why they have emphasized the money bit of things. You see, there are donation things there. I'm not limiting you from copying, but I'm saying add life to what you have copied. Don't copy exactly and paste. The client will know that work. Like, the way you copy and paste is the way the clients will pay you. All my designs are copied, sometimes replicated. Inspirations are picked from somewhere, but you won't find them looking exactly like where I've replicated it from. So if I share this work, this one, with the person that shared theirs, you'll see they are looking exactly, because they just came and edited a template. The work was before we started editing templates. So I wanted to see your creativity before you learn how to edit templates. But yeah, maybe you can come, pick a leaf, then find how do you add to that leaf. You are not designing anything new. Those things of flyers, of donations, what have been put there, but they share the common, this one is of photo drive, come to this one is of this, but the money is clearly stated. Find the ways of how to communicate to us without us training to read. The way you pasted just the paragraph down there. This one, maybe it was about donation, and then they emphasize the date, because what they want is you to see the date. Are you able to be there on that date? Sometimes we emphasize what exactly we want people to see, and the hierarchy we want them to see it in. The money is well stated. It is a simple design. It is just that way, but the money. Someone sent me, they copied an inspiration from this. But as you are picking an inspiration, is what you're designing looking similar like the inspiration or closer to it? But that's it. You have seen common donation things, emphasize the price, and you see this, save this one, and then the money is put there. So find the right template. I'll say we are editing a hire me now flyer. You shown hire now. You'll see hire now will always be emphasized. Then, now I'll give you this assignment. I'll just welcome questions, but I love doing with a free version with a unedited templates. But now on, I'll tell you, create a template and then show me the changes you have done to it. Like, go on, find some work you want to do, find a template within Canva, and show me the changes you have done to it. Because I don't want to design people that are going to be just editing the templates the way they are, minus adding the artwork that we have taught you. We have put in much time to teach you the artwork, so we don't want it to go just far and just keep editing. What we are going to do, shall pick an A4 page that is plain. I want it with templates, Zimboa, but you will do that for your own self. So we are going to pick this size and do some work with it. We are going to ask questions and do the questions on this free Canva. 1, how do you change background of the entire Canva? Do I have any questions before I proceed? Because we want the practical bits to start off here for these remaining minutes. Can start a few practical bits. Then next week, before we start a lecture, I shall be showing you the design we are coming to do before we start off. Do you have any questions before we continue? Okay, no questions. I'll do this. I'll share this. So how do we edit the background for this? Yeah, there are many ways to edit the background. 1, click on this page that is there. You see where there is background, see where there is a plus sign. So click the plus sign. But if you look critically well, let's begin one by one. Say you want a color that you don't know. You can keep playing around with, seeing what color you want, blah, blah. But we left that step. We said we should always know the color codes of what we want. So say I want that color. Most people look at designs and think those designs have pure white color. Sometimes that color is toned down because of human eyes. Don't always leave your work into pure white, Some color, sometimes that's not white. It is close to white, but it is not white. It is toned down. So that's one way of changing a color. You click on this color plus, then change a color. Or you can, default gradients. Canva will give you default gradients that it has within. Or will give you those colors that are within, like default colors, those primary colors, black, blue, white, they will be listed within your area. But how do we reach there? Click on the Canva, click here, then, go to where the colors are, or a plus sign. So how do we add a gradient? Sometimes you see the backgrounds are gradient in a gradient form. So click this plus. You see where there was color, there is where there is solid color, and then there is where there is gradient. You see there is solid and gradient. There is solid and gradient. So you can come to where there is gradient, then choose the gradient you want. Maybe you want a gradient, I'll just imagine, of red and blue. Of red and blue. How do you want it to come in? I want it to come in from the bottom, maybe from a side, maybe round like that. They are funny colors. I'm not thinking about the colors. I'm just choosing, but yeah. Yes, it will be limited. It might limit you according to, how Photoshop would do it, but at least you have a power of creating your own gradients of the colors you want. Maybe you want that color, so you can choose color 1. You can always also come and, see what color it is giving you. Is it the color that you wanted? Blah, blah, like that. So a gradient contains 3 colors. All these colors, when you change them, you'll see the changes to your gradient. So you'll go around, play around with the gradient thingy, but the common gradient is always this one, or from a side, but that's it. When you don't have a pro version, it will limit you to those. Though most times I won't see you using gradients. I just wanted to show you that way, so that when you find it somewhere, you don't be surprised. Most times you'll see using bold colors, or another way to add colors or to add the textures that you see, we shall put back to this. Okay, I'll do this. You'll come here. I'm going to explain all these ways through. You come to background, within your elements, you can search background. For example, you want a dark blue background. So you say dark blue background. So it will bring you backgrounds. Those that are free and the ones that are paid for. So they will show you different backgrounds within. Yes, most are paid for, but yeah, still there are those that are free. For example, if you want that, maybe you were designing a Christmas thing, how do you convert it into a background? You can right click on it, then say replace background. So it will occupy the entire background. That's how you see people are coming up with these beautiful designs with graphics in the background. Detach from background, then you can remove it. Other people will decide just to, to rescale it until it fits the background. It is okay. But when with that work, I can say replace background so that it also fits it within the way it has to fit in. Maybe your rescaling is making work look funny. What you do is say replace background to take care of the other things. Then still about backgrounds that we choose from here. Sometimes you can get things. For example, if you were designing a technology thing, you can say technology background. Because there are those backgrounds you might not create for yourself from zero. So you see these technology things that you already seen, those technology companies doing the backgrounds, can like choose this, then say replace background. So it replaces. Do you see the change here that it leaves your background there that you had chosen before, then it puts for you that on the top. You can say change this to, change the background color that was there to another color. But we are going to learn more of this in real world. Sometimes you may not say replace the entire background, but find a way. At least you have learned how we put graphics there. So for example, I want to redesign custom things with simple graphics of, let me find any graphics that can be suitable for us and it is free. I'll show you sites where we get these graphics in case you don't find it here. In case you don't find the graphics that you want within your work, I'll show you a site that we get free ones, because people would be like, okay, we are seeing you have shown us that, but most of them are paid for. You have seen people share work that has funny, has a good background in them. I'll change this to dark blue. I don't know what color is that, but yeah. I don't want the other blue that looks like for PPO uniforms. I want that standard company blues. Sometimes you see me rejecting your colors, not because they are bad colors. You'll be like, I chose blue, but what blue have you chosen? Bronze has the uniforms that was chakariranga over. So you can always be creative, look for colors if you don't know what color to use, but you choose a color that is that professional and quiet, or I'll leave that. I'll show you how we can build something from zero. Oh, we can keep this in white or in this color and just keep building things on top of it. For example, we want a background color that has graphics in them, but we don't see it here, but we have our graphics. We have these graphics and shall change this to blue. We have these graphics. We are not doing any standard designs. I'm just showing you how to play around with things. We have these graphics too. This graphics, I want it in the corners. I want all my corners to have this graphic. Then the power of you being creative. Okay, we can change this to blue. Then this corner, you say, okay, you want to rotate. You rotate this work that you have. You see here, this kind of thing helps you rotate your work. Or if you have not seen the rotate bits, you click on the object, you come to position, you'll see where there is rotate. You see rotate is here. So you rotate, for example, if you want it at 90 degrees, you rotate it at 90 and press enter. You can always do the rotation within this. But always I use this cast thingy, this shape, so it gives me the rotation to the angle that I exactly want. Because sometimes you don't know the angle you want to rotate to. So what I do, I keep rotating. Yeah. Maybe, yeah, I wanted a design on those two corners, and I wanted these to be left free. What I can do for this design to come out well, that I can even add a text on top, is come, add a shape there, resize that shape to the size of the Canva, then maybe make this shape kind of more transparent, that your designs will be seen, but there's that top shape that may not be seen by visible eyes. So that glance of the shape will help us to read through the text that is in the background. I always make these shapes black. It doesn't kill the other tone that is down. Then if you have decided to make it black, we can do any other color. We can do this pure white so that they are not colliding. Then the black one on top. So it will create for us that thingy. Let us add text there, and we shall do text color changing by Esther wanted us to change color. I told you, if you're unsure, always make it left alignment. Do you see that my text is readable even when we put it on top of these things? It still be readable, but we can keep reducing its opacity or increasing the opacity of what is on top, or reducing the opacity, or we can say we don't want this shape on top, this one that is black, but we want these to reduce their opacity so that they are within, but they are not coming out well, like they are not so loud. These are techniques I'm showing you that will help you come up with beautiful designs. I'll show you real examples as where I used them, because if you don't have a real example, it may not make sense. But I'm going to share a real example as where I'd use them. Then for the spacing, you see this imaginary box of purple that is on. So you can always keep your works within the margins that are there for the start. Then if you can violate, you can violate. Let's just violating it. Since you are juniors, most people are juniors. I'm not saying everyone is a junior here. Use that thingy. I'll add an enter here. Hope we are learning something. Yes. Yeah, so we are going to play around with this font. We are going to do this. When you want to change anything with the font, highlight it. Because sometimes, okay, I'm going to give you an example. If I want this color to be red, maybe this is the 4 million. I want it to be shouting. I want it to be well pronounced. I'll choose a yellow, not this yellow. Even these colors have variants within. Don't just choose a color. You can choose how to make it that deep, that readable. You can always play around with this and see how to make it big and readable. Maybe I will choose that color. I don't even know the name of the color, but make sure you get a color that is readable. And then if you are designing for an organization, that color shouldn't be far from the colors. The power of highlighting. If I had just clicked on this shape and said I want to change color, and boom, it would change the entire shape. But if you highlight a bit, for example, if you highlight, come to text here, Hope Esther is being answered because I'm doing this for Esther. So highlight where you want to do the changes. If you want the entire text, always highlight it. Yeah, I'll teach you that method of always highlighting what they know that you can just click on the shape and change its color, but it will help you master that skill of, okay, remembering to always highlight. So that one day when you want to just change only these lower bits to blue, you can highlight the bits that you want, then change the bits that you want to another color. Hope that answered Esther's question. As you see, the font we have chosen is not looking that beautiful. We discussed last time how to change fonts. You come here where there is Canva, and then you go to where there are shape fonts. Today I'll use Poppins. I'll use it as extra bold. Yeah, to look beautiful, but there is a bigger space in between the words. Remember that is like canning and leading. So we shall leave the canning, the space between letters the same way, but space between the words, we shall reduce it a bit. So that it is there, but it is not as small as it was. Then, let me teach some creative thing that I want to teach today. Let me download them from the WhatsApp and show someone how we could have. Yes, as I'm downloading, do you have any questions? Have we learned something to do today? I'll stop sharing. Have we learned something today? Hellos. Can we have comments come in? I want it from this group. There's what I want. Guys, you can unmute and speak. I'm saving some work here to show you an example of if you are copying what you have to do. Okay, I'll share my screen again since no questions and what. We have a few minutes. Hey, I had hands risen up. Okay. You can always unmute and just speak. Yes, please, Ken.
Yes, Mr. Farmer.
Yes,
I want
please.
to ask him. I want to ask him. What's the best size of a page you have to use in design? Is it this A4 or any page? Like when we are designing like a flyer, what's the best size of page?
Okay. Kasule had a question. Kasule. Unmute and ask the question.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Kasule.
Hello.
Yes, we can
Can
hear
you get me?
clear.
Okay. I just wanted to ask about that A4 size.
Yes,
Like,
please.
can I use like A3, like beyond that size?
Yes, you can. I'll answer that when I'm answering
All
the
right.
best size. I'm going to answer that when I'm answering his question.
All right.
Okay, I was also asking
Yes.
if we are dealing with colors. For example, when you are selecting colors, should you consider selecting colors like considering your background? Maybe after making the background, that's when you should select the colors according to the background. Or you have to select colors, then you deal with the background according to the color of the text.
Okay, so I will answer that too.
Okay.
Okay, so let me first answer those. Let me share my screen. One. Okay, the paper about the size, we cover this in the first lecture. If you look closer, this is not even A4 page. But before we design an artwork, we ask the client, where are you going to use it? So that we pick a size according to the client's needs. If you are going to design something for TikTok, always pick a TikTok frame and make sure the one that you have picked is in a format of TikTok. Before you pick thingy for Instagram, if a client tells you, I'm going to use it for Instagram, you see this page wasn't F4, it was 50 by 50. I typed in F4, but you know Canva is mad. It will bring you everything it has within sometimes. So if you're not critical, the size will be different. So this is a car, like the same size of what? F4 is this one. And when you go into it, you'll see, you see F4 portrait. So before you start even the design, the document thingy will show you. I didn't know that you didn't notice that, but yeah, Canva brought everything. But before he started the design, I knew I wasn't selecting F4. The Walimba then typing them F4. So not always. Actually, we rarely design with F4. Why? Because the work that we are doing is not for printing, it's for media. So if you are doing for media, we'll always do a size, for example, like for Instagram, because that same size that goes on Instagram, it is the same size that goes on LinkedIn and what? And Twitter. Then nowadays, if you get that size of Instagram and post it on, for example, WhatsApp, it will look still good than you getting a WhatsApp one and then, sorry, if what? Let me go back here. Page sizing is key and not key in two ways. One, if you are designing for a client, know where they are going to use the platform. Most platforms they are going to use it from. So if they are vagala, they don't know where exactly they are going to use from. That's why you see different companies say we can design for you, and then you see the same art that looks differently. If the client is paying highly and you are designing for a high standard client, you have to make sure you alter sometimes your work. So yes, you make the version that will go on Facebook, Instagram, and for example, Twitter, and then no, this won't fit well on my WhatsApp, on my, sorry, what? TikTok. You redesign like a poster within TikTok, but at least you have designed one that goes to other social media platforms. So the key question, ask a client, what are you going to use it? I'm going to use it. We are going to be posting it on Instagram. Come on Instagram, pick their Instagram, post, like not for the stories, but there's that says that is one-on-one, this one for the ads feed. Are we together? Instagram also has different pages. Page kayo kalikamu. If you are lost, you come within at the bottom and then choose one that you see is this says. Normal poster. You'll find most work that we are sharing is within this format. You see that person that is always sharing the one for food in the group is sharing this format. So just be creative around it. Just know how you are going to lay your text. That's why the research comes in. So before you have the content onto your Canva, know how best will it fit. Because sometimes the clients don't know what they want. Sometimes, yes, you'll do with F4 because they might print it at the end, or they may not print it, but F4 portrait would look better, would look good on WhatsApp. Or sometimes even these gadgets don't differentiate the sizes. But if you are looking for TikTok and what, you have to design in a frame that is this vertical kasimu way katika wanvu. But if you are doing normal designs like I do mine, I always do them in this or 1080 by 1080 Instagram post. This one, it was this one. I'll show you that command thing. Let me go to my other account and you see the sizes that. So sizes always vary according to the work or the project. Don't cram one size. One size fits for all. So you see like this one, Don't want you to see that client. It was for Insta, the 1080 by 1080. So below it, I've designed several graphics with it, and then it was fine because before I wasn't putting my work on TikTok anywhere. I was on the other platforms. That's why TikTok I joined this year and midway. I had bars with it, so I was not on TikTok. So all my work would be in this. It would fit well on Twitter, it would fit well in the on the LinkedIn, it would fit well on Facebook. Yeah. Is the same size. You see, this one is a LinkedIn post where I made these ones. This one was a Facebook square. It shows you what is the size down. When I'm designing about a cover page, I know what I want to do. I will design a 1080 by 1080 because I want it to fit on the screens. Because the 1080 videos, you see these video bits, make sure. So what you are designing, this was for printing, so I designed it in portrait. So before you design, this was for a presentation, so I designed it this way. I charge this client, he might be even on this call, we charge them. So this one was for, you see the forms we created before you joined. This was for a form. Those, I designed it in another format. So before the real answer is, before you design anything, know why you are designing it and where it fits most. So if I'm designing for a form, before I start designing, I will come here and be in home. I wanted it to be on the other free account. It forgive me, I'm using the same thing. So you'll come here and be in home and then type what are you doing. You are going to do a form cover, a Google form cover. We are called Google form, that it brings the exact size. So it will bring you this size for Google Forms. So that when you are adding on it, you are adding the right size. Hope you get my point. The punchline is, before you design anything, that's a bit of research. Know why you are designing it and what platform are you designing it for. So if they tell you they are going to print it, what are they going to print? I'm going to print a poster, we have bronze, we have blue. That's A3. So choose an A3 page. Those are the first things we covered. You know what you are designing for. Ask these questions to the client. What are you going to do? So the client will tell you, I'm going to print it. Those bipandes why I'm bringing a printing person is going to tell you different sizes and how they be. So you'll be the one to answer this. So you see this is A2. Actually, even before you take it, you have to see here. You have to always see that, because sometimes Canva could be a museum. This is A2. We want A3. So you look through until you get that A3 page that you want. That's A2. Or if you know the size of A2 in centimeters, you can do the custom size. For example, if a client has that custom work that is confusing, you can always create a new template that is totally new. A2, A3, there's where we create custom size. So you can always create a custom size here. Hope I answered you well. There is no standard size for all. Facebook landscape. But you can choose a size that you see can fit well within your Canva, can fit well within, within those other platforms. So if you're designing book covers, they're showing you the size. If you're designing magazines, they're showing you the size. If you're unsure, please, you see TikTok, it is showing you its size. You see videos or things, even if it's a picture, but it's going to be used within a video format. For example, if I was designing a tag that I'm going to put on a video that is 1080 by 1080, even if it's just a tag, I'll design it here. Yes, it's an image, not a video, but I'll design it in these dimensions, 1920 by 1080. Colors, the color person. Before I proceed, did I answer that? Can I have some hands of the people that asked about size? Hope I got answered you well. Color people. Okay, we've got a new site. Yeah. So maybe your worry is about the design that we are doing. Use an Instagram says, if you can. One, all the designs that I've shared are mostly are about Instagram. The Instagram says Facebook takes it on and it still looks beautiful. You can upload it on WhatsApp. Check the design that you have done with an Instagram post and put it on WhatsApp before you post it and just see how it looks. Twitter takes it on. So that can be a design that, cuts across. But if you're unsure, now these platforms adjusted. Before, TikTok was only taking their sizes of videos, but nowadays it takes even those videos that are, landscape format that are 1080, 920, 1080. So platforms adjusted. Though the better you design for what is specifically meant for that platform, the better. Standard designs are not like the designs you have been thinking of mama na kamu designing irayo kantu. Standard designers create different designs for a company. So you'll see, for example, safe border. If you look at safe board on TikTok, it will have the appropriate size for TikTok. It will have the appropriate size for LinkedIn. It will have appropriate sizes for everything. That's where Canva comes in, the Canva power of, if you have a paid version, let me show you something. If you have a paid version, though you don't have one, so if you have a paid version, and for example, you are with Design X, we're designing something on this page, right? I want a page where we're designing something. But I think we are confusing two accounts, but we shall use this. So for example, you're on this page and you want to convert it. So while downloading it, you come to download. The paid version had different sizes. That's where we convert sizes from. Preferences, background, blah, blah. I'll get that thing and show you. Is where they do size conversions. I'll get that thing for you. Let me teach another person. So there was a person that was talking about colors. We talked about colors in the other lesson. One, we do colors this way. Because sometimes we are not going to change the brand colors of an organization just because you want to choose your own colors. If the organization has colors, and which is bound to be that most organizations will have colors, find ways of fighting with those colors to match. Now, Fans Technologies has blue. This is what we were learning about, that this one is on top of the other one is an image, but you can put a kabubi, you can put that other two shape. Then this shape, make it kind of faint so that your work is visible in the back. When I do this, you won't see the artwork behind, but I reduce its intensity and it is being visible. But what am I reducing? Intensity of a triangle that has already made company color. I'm not fighting against the company colors. So as you are choosing colors, make sure you are bound or you are playing within the company colors. The company has told you our colors are A, B, C. It's you to find ways of fighting. The good thing they've given you white. White is that random color that any company can use, any font can use. So if the company already has vague colors, is not willing to change the colors, you can always use them against the white. I've ever gotten a client with such colors, and then they always give you rules. I want the blue to be, I don't want to mention the colors. I want this color to be seen. I want the red to be seen. Yes, I've given the rules. They want their colors to be visible, but maybe in the beginning, designer X made them choose two primary colors. You will be there and you are choosing, for example, red and blue. Those are already primary colors. They're already both dull colors. So it will be hard to pick a color or a good design out of them. They won't be contrasting each other. You see this blue is contrasting with the white, the contrast bit of it. So if you put a color on top of the other, can it be easily readable? But yeah, you are going to get these gigs. Don't run away from the gigs. You'll get a client that tells you purely I have these colors, and then you just find ways of how playing around with them, how changing intensity, maybe use white as most, use this. Because if I'd used here, for example, my green, because my primary colors are green, you use that green there and use the green, it is readable, but you see the contrast, it is not coming out well the way white was. So I maintained the white. Sometimes you have to violate into kugobera those company colors with strict rules. Unless they made a branding guideline that is strict, and then maybe within that branding guideline that tested that their colors are compatible, that even if we use it against what. That's why when I'm sharing this logo, I tell you it is beautiful against if you are using this dark color. If you're using another color, I'll share with you a logo that is black and white, is blue and green. That goes back to the entire work as why we are here. Before we design a logo, before we design things, we have to keep the things in mind. How will they look on different fonts? How will they look on different colors? I'll come to my home and share with you something about my company. I'm in this account, man. I'll find ways of how to navigate between two accounts next time better. Okay. I don't know why this page. I'll do this. Continue. I want to switch accounts. Okay. I'll share my screen again. I'll share this again. So when you look much at my designs, I fought hard to keep within the company colors. So you see how I'm using my logos differently on different colors. The background might not matter, but where I used, for example, plain backgrounds or white backgrounds, I made sure the blue is that visible. You see, the blue. Where I use, for example, the blue backgrounds, I made sure maybe the words are in white. So there might not be one standard rule of how you choose the colors, but yeah, always follow the brand colors. Because if I tell you these colors are best, you are going to be designing for people or for brands that already have their own colors. So you see this branding, you see this green is my own green. Then I made sure at least the green is there, the other color is there. Hope that answers your question. That there is no one shoe fit all. Like you see this green, I make sure at least within the company colors, I maintain that. I maintain my company colors and then play around with other colors to give life to the object or to give life to the thing that I'm designing. I'll stop using that example, but if I decide to use this, you'll know that I've made it, yes, white and what, but yeah, my logo here, because yellow is also my third color. So my logo here has that yellow bit picked from there, and then you already resonate with the brand, you know it is blue. You know why Safe Border is always using their orange, it is orange. You'll always resonate with it. So how Safe Border uses its colors, for example, Safe Border. So all these border for Uganda, Safe Border. So all these things Safe board. Okay, wait, hold on, continue. Want this board, sorry, I'd put border. So you see how it resonates with their colors. They have their orange, but now they choose like a background that is kind of orange but kind of light to pull out this color thing. They know when I'm going to use my logo, I'll put a white background there because it has to be visible. Maybe they have different variations of that logo. Like you have to copy from existing brands, how they are doing their work and how they are matching colors. So color matching is key, but it is more key before you choose that color. So before you choose the color, how you play around with it. You see if it has put on different background, on the white, their colors. And obviously you will see where there is much orange, its logo is white now. That's why you have to have a different variations of your logo, that if I'm using maybe this color, my brand color, whenever you see me use this blue color, my brand color as a background, I'll use another logo. You won't find me fidgeting with the other logo. Let me show you other logos that I have. You won't find me fidgeting with all my logos, these ones of blue, because if I put this blue here, it won't be readable. If I put, yes, because I'm insisting I want that same color there, and I put this one, I'll leave the background and it will look funny. Just imagine it is cropped like this. So these are the things that companies don't have. Maybe when you join that company and they have that one logo, ask them, can we create different variations of this logo? Just imagine I'm using this. It would look funny with that background and what, because I want to maintain my blue. So as you are maintaining your colors, they shouldn't collide with other things. This is what I was telling you, that variations, like before, as you are creating work for the client, show them how their logo will look on two different, works. How will it look on the red? How will it look on the blue? Okay, you have to show with only the colors that are close to the brand, that, okay, if we have designed with green is our brand color, also, if you have designed it with a green, how will the logo look like? That's why, even if I change this color inside here to our company green, this is not our company green, but I'm just choosing the green, still the work will come out. It is not coming out because this is not our company green, but with the green of our company, it will surely come out. So those are the things that before you design or before you choose colors, you do that. Then I told you an example, another example. The more you pick inspirations, for example, if you don't know colors to use, the more you pick inspirations, the more you see different designers, how they are doing their work, is the more you learn how to, combine your works. Yeah, but brand colors are key. Then you see where he has used the update. Like the update is the orange as a brand color, and at least he has put a border around it to put out the other picture. So yes, different brands white is free, can use different colors, use different what, but how does it match? They don't slide off totally their design. They still stay within their brand colors, and you will not still this work is from safe border, even if they have used another color. So colors is key. I told you where to pick colors. You can pick a good color palette for you. Or if you can't pick the good color palette, you can pick an inspiration. Keep copying from people's designs. By like you see the eyes, how they are, interacting with this color. There we are talking to a person who doesn't have a color at all. But as I'm teaching to people that are going to be designing for brands that will already have primary colors. So for colors, you fight within the primary color of the organization. For the person that you don't know, you can always search about maybe what sector. For example, if you are designing a pharmacy thingy and you come here and say pharmacy flyer. That's why I always encourage you to pick inspiration. So when you come and pick pharmacy flyers or inspiration for pharmacy flyers, you'll see the common colors that they share. You also use that one. You'll see the green there, you'll see the blue there for trusts. Yeah. But the common colors, you'll see at least there will be common colors. Unless it's abazungu says take colors and but you can always choose that. Or the person that you are designing for, what colors do they have on their badge? For example, if you have our logo here, it will give us what to do. Let me copy a logo here. All the images that we are using will give us what to do. So I'll copy this that has this blue, just randomly. And then we want to change this color of the fonts to that dark blue so that maybe our thing comes out the way it's intended on this blue. When you come to colors, you'll see where there is that image that you have uploaded, then they will show you colors that on that image. So that color will match the logo. So if you have a client and then they have just given you the logo, maybe make sure the logo that is on that, the colors that are on the logo are matching, maybe your font, maybe are matching the background, like that. Like make sure something on that board are matching always. Or are pulling out that image. If maybe you have just an image of a person, you might want the colors. Person. You have to be here. I'll find a free one. I'll find this, or I'll find this. And as you are creating, maybe you want your logo, your thingy to have live, to kind of feel like it's connected to the image. You would maybe find ways of changing what is within here to these colors of the image. How you come, for example, you would say, I want this background to be kind of more lighter or more what, come to the background, come where the colors are, come to this image, say, want your background to be that. So that it is matching, so that when you fit this thing in, for example, if you stretch it in, and maybe it doesn't reach the top, still there is the way it is matching your background. Or if you had ended somewhere there and you want the bottom for other things, the bottom would still work because this bottom is matching with the top. So this creativity is going to come naturally from you people. No one is going to teach you how to do that. But to shorten the gap of learning is picking inspirations from what. Then two, you can always see now all about kati eno kala tenyumiddeeko ng'ogamba okay, njagala mu white. I'll change this to white to see whether the color comes out well. So you change to white. But sometimes maybe it is fighting, it is not contrasting well. You can add a shape there. That's what is killing most people. You can add a shape there. I'll come here, I'll search for shape. I'll show you the difference that the shape is going to do. Yes, the shape is that color, but I'll do this. I'll reduce it. I'll reduce it. I'll make this color black for the shape. I'll reduce its transparency. Yes. Do you see how it has added some readability to that font? Without and with, there is a big change. So that creativeness in you is what we are looking for. Maybe reduce further or add more. It doesn't hurt. You see most designs, that shape that adds to it. Sometimes we don't leave the images blunt the way they are. Sometimes we add this color and then it is invisible, but it is allowing us to put text on top to match what we want. You'll see those most pictures that you see online. They have that color on them. Sometimes you don't need to add the entire thing. Sometimes you just need it to add within the area where you want. But yeah, here, now every text that we put here might match well with our thingy. Maybe there is another text here, there is another text somewhere. But hope you got the point. That creativeness in you will come out as you do more designs. Pinterest. I want to show you layers with overlays. That sometimes not all pictures are just bland. You'll see most pictures that are over. There's that small layer they put on top to make sure the design comes out well. But you people, you have Pinterest. You can copy any design from there. Don't just go there to get memes. You go there, find designs that are beautiful. I don't know, but I'll find a right example to show you. We shall end our lesson with that, with a take home of you designing something from a already an exist. You can't say you want it to start there. Just be creative with your work. No one is going to penalize you. No one is going to limit you. Artwork is just a design. You can say, okay, don't want that way. You want maybe this, maybe it is showing the line where it is starting from. And there is no harm of showing lines where your work passes. So you can add to that, but at least add something that will add life to your shapes. Most people are using pictures and then you're putting text over them directly, and then maybe that picture is kind of which also that it is fighting with the thing that you have put on it. They are not contrasting well. So to add the contrast, would you add that thing in the background? Would you add that color, to get that contrast? If you can't do that, find ways of at least how your shape will come out. Yeah, people are dropped today much because maybe what I was teaching was boring. Maybe because I didn't prepare a lesson plan that I just came to teach randomly. But yeah, that's it for today. We shall end there. Hope you learned something. Unless you have any questions before we can leave. Next time we shall have an expert in this thing. She will show you with, yeah, she might not be using Canva, but I want you to Munswazi, if we are learning it from Canva, whatever skill they show you with the other software, you can apply it even in your Canva. Are we together? Okay, so we shall sign out. Colors, that's it.
Excuse me. You have said that it's going to come with a different software. Can you tell us the software so that we can download it very early?
Yeah, you see master classes, she might not teach like exact teaching, but
Yeah.
I know she doesn't use Canva. She uses Photoshop and Illustrator most. Though
So
the coming to the lesson is not teaching you how those softwares work. It's giving you tips like these general tips, how to do printing, what you have to consider before you printing. So those considerations, you'll put them into the Canva context that if she tells you your work has to be in PDF, so you know I will have to print in PDF. If she tells you have to pick this size, she'll talk about page sizes. You know before you start the designing, you pick the right page size.
okay.
Yeah. She'll be here on Monday.
I'll be here.
Okay. I sign out. Today the class ended with a few people. You people want slides. What I teach within the slides is the same things I teach by just telling you people. So shall end the class there. I hope it added something onto your design life. Bye-bye. Sign out.